Living Seed Media brings to you God's Word, which is His comprehensive equipment for changing lives. May the Lord impact your heart as you encounter His Word. For further inquiry or counsel, contact Peace House, P.O. Box 971, Boko, Benue State, Nigeria. Telephone numbers 0703 0363659, 0703 7681198. Email address lsmedia@livingseed.org, or visit our website at www.livingseed.org. Let us sit back and listen as the servant of God brings forth the word of life.
ICT, Information Communication Technology. Ploys, pluses, and pitfalls. And we're looking at obtaining the right materials for a solid foundation. Now we will start. We have about 4 sections, just 4 sections to look at. We'll look at the origin and definition and components and purpose of the ICT. We'll be looking at the benefits and influence of the ICT. And we will look at the pitfalls and hazards of the ICT. And we'll conclude and we'll look at the way forward. The way forward. Okay, now the way forward, please, there was a little thing I want you to note there. When you look at the page 5, please let's look at page 5. You see pollution, time wastage, and antisocial behaviors. Now, the way forward, can you see the way forward there? It's actually supposed to be bigger than that. It's a major heading. I hope you understand. Yeah, so take note of it there. You see the way forward and the scriptures in front. Now, let's go back to the beginning. The scripture we'll be looking at here, first and foremost, is Genesis 1:28-30. It's already put there for us to see. And the reason why we want to look at the origin and definition and the components and purpose is because in the original concept, ICT in itself was not supposed to be a wrong tool. ICT was deliberately developed, actually, if I may say, in accordance with God's original plan. And what's God's original plan from the beginning? Genesis 1:28-30. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." And God said, "See, I have given you every herb that yields seeds which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruits yield seed. To you it shall be for food, also to every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, in which there is life. I have given every green herb for food." And it was so. So actually God gave man complete what? Dominion. And he expected man to do what? To subdue where? Where did God expect man to subdue? A part of the earth. Some segments of the earth, some fraction of the earth, the entire earth, everything. And so actually everything we see on the face of the earth today is part of what God had in his original plan earmarked for man to what? Have dominion over. And it was in pursuit of that ICT actually evolved. Are you with me? I know that many people at times, many of you young people are struggling with some people that say, oh, the ICT is the devil's tool. Some people have said something like that, right or wrong? Huh? Yeah, right? And it's like, oh, it's the tool, devil, these last days, end time, they're going to use it, 666 and all those stuffs like that, right? Aha. Now, but really, what you must understand, which is all the reason why we are here, is that in the beginning, it was not so. Are you with me? Actually, many things that are negative today were not so. From where? From the beginning. The problem is that everything that God creates for the benefit of man, the devil seeks to do what? Hijack it. Are you with me? And that is also what is happening in the ICT. And so we are going to be looking at it critically. And the reason we are looking at this purpose is because, like I wrote there, when the use of something is not what? Known. What is inevitable? What is inevitable? I want to hear feedback so that I know you are following me very well. Is that okay? When use is not known, what is inevitable? Abuse. Thank you very much. Abnormal use. That's abuse. Do you get that? Abuse is what? Abnormal use. There's a normal use. And so as children of God in this generation, we are going to dominate even the world of the word ICT in the word normal use. Are you following me? Good. So let's read further. The technology of communication evolved from a primitive system of information dissemination. Man, having been gifted by God with an innate capability to be creative in his mandate to subdue the earth, began to find other means of achieving this. The first of all technological inventions was accomplished by Sir Charles Whiston, the inventor, Sir William F. Cook in Great Britain, and by the artist and inventor Samuel F.B. Morse. Is a picture of F.B. Morse you are seeing up there in the US in 1837. They invented the telegraph, which is what has developed into telex machine, fax machine, and consequently into electronic mail. Following closely in the 1890s was the telephone, after which radio and television communication came, and then the computer. Communication technologies were primarily developed to aid business, 1, get vital information across, 2, and keep in touch with family, 3. Did we get that? That was the original reason that motivated men to develop this. In those days, they used to use horses to send messages. You understand? Somebody writes a letter, gives it to this writer. It takes some days and maybe some weeks to get the message across. As development came up and people grew and all that, people were searching for faster and better means of achieving this. Are you following me? Without technology, we will not be able to be here today, right or wrong. Huh? Aha. And many of the things that are available for us will not have been available on the internet and all that. There was a need to subdue to that extent. And that was why God gave the wisdom for that. You following me? Good. So let's go on. Information technology today is seen as processing, distribution of data using computer hardware and software, telecommunications and digital electronics, and the internet. A computer-based global information system. In 1989, Timothy Berners-Lee and at Seun, that's an European Center for Nuclear Research, developed what we know now as the World Wide Web as a necessary tool for what? For research. Internet was existing before, but later on, the internet was existing as a basic network of systems, computers, hardware, and they just do some transfer of information. But then the web itself, www. Web addresses and all that, was made possible by Timothy Berners-Lee. What we had before in the internet is like what you have in your, I don't know how many of you have had access to something like a local area network. You know, in a local area network, one computer is connected to another, and simply what you do is just share information, you understand, over the network. I can send information to you, you can get from me and all that. I know who I'm sending to getting from me. But then the ability to have web pages now available so that you type a website and it gets there, and then you can go from one page to another, came much later after the internet had been in existence. So the internet and the web are two different things. They are not the same. The internet is a hardware, while World Wide Web is like a software. That's how I'm talking about. So now he developed that as what? He developed the World Wide Web as a necessary tool for what? For research. So that is why the internet is existing. That is why the internet was created. Are you following me? Now, so we need to understand this so that we know what it's supposed to be used for. But unfortunately, you know that at times, when something has been created for a good use, some other people find some other. They were not actually the ones that created it in the first place. I hope you are following me. Huh? That's what happened. They were not the ones that developed in the first place. Just like the devil does. God has created man, created the garden, created earth. But then the devil comes to hijack and use the things on earth against the purpose of God. And we are going to stand against this name. Now, the benefits and influence of ICT. Now, can we open our Bibles to Daniel chapter 1, verse 17 to 20? Now, I put it there so that we can read it straight on. The benefits and influence of ICT. Are we there? Now just put your hands there. We'll read in a moment. Now, when we talk about the benefits and influence, first let me ask a question before we look at what are the benefits. That is, what do you get? What are the things that accrue to you by virtue of your having access to this? And then the influence, on what pedestal does it place you? What position of advantage does it give you? That's the influence we're looking at. But then before we look at that, I want to ask a question. Now, what for us today constitutes the components of ICT? I would like some people to raise their hand. If you have a loud voice, just shout it out and then I'll echo it. What constitutes the components? As I'm going to be looking at the benefits and influence, what constitutes the component? What are the components of ICT as we see it today? Yes? What constitutes the components? Just anybody? I know we all know it, so just keep telling me. Okay, yes, sir? Huh? Hardware and software. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. That was what you wanted to say. Okay, good. Yes. Any other person? Now. ICT goes beyond hardware and software and the computers. I hope you're getting me. Your DSTV is part of the tools of ICT. Are you getting it now? I'm saying that we were all just thinking of computers and computers and computers. No. your handsets, their ICT tools, your TV. Can you give me some more examples now? Huh? Somebody shouted something there. Yes? Can I hear you? Yes? Cell phones. Yes. Your handset, your cell phones. Yes? Anything that communicates a message. You just gave us a blanket cover. Since we are talking about communication and technology. So anything, so just think about it. Anything that you used to do what? Communicate. And it's a technological tool. That's a component of what? ICT. It's very right. It's very right. So it's a broad spectrum. Your tablets, is that not so? iPhones, all that. Your ICT tools. Your TV set is an ICT tool because you get information from it, yes or no? And it's a technological device, yes or no? Aha. So are we getting it now? So all these are all what constitutes ICT. So the reason why we need to, first of all, identify them is so that we can know that, yes, okay, so what benefit do we get from this? And what can we get from that? Let's go on. Now, an opportunity to lay a solid foundation, a tool for breaking barriers both in time and space. That's the first thing we are looking at there. After that scripture, Daniel 1:17-20, I wrote there, it's an opportunity to lay a solid foundation and what? A tool for breaking what? Barrier both in what? Time and what? And space. Do we know that what that means? It's an opportunity to lay a solid foundation. Now, we're talking about foundations here. We're talking about foundation, laying a solid foundation and all that. Now, I hope you know that if you go to school, college, and your year one, you just played it away, and just got whatever grades you could get. And then you got to year two and your grades were low and you're struggling to pick up. Now, by the time you are getting to your final year, would you be able to get the same grades as another person that started well in 100 level? First year? Huh? Why? Because that year one grade will still be used to compute your final grade. Yes or no? Huh? So what does that mean? Once you have a faulty year one, you're going to have a faulty final grade. Do you get the point? Once you have a faulty year one, you have already laid a wrong what? Foundation. And once you are not, you did that, and you know, just like we said yesterday, it keeps going up. Once you have that struggle, you came out just with any grade in school, then the next thing is, do you have enough grade to go for masters or not? Yeah? Huh? There's a grade at which you can go for masters. Am I right? Aha. So, it's a domino effect. One problem leads to what? Another. That's the problem of foundation. And so what happens? When you don't get to be able to go and do your masters, or you have to go one long road and all that, your classmates that did well got some scholarships and they are on. Are you seeing that? You will already have created a problem for yourself tomorrow from today. Now, so you see, it's important that we know the place of ICT even in achieving what we need to achieve right when? Now. There might be limitations and all that, but there's a way IT bridges the gap. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. Huh? IT bridges the gap. I know there are times to go to some schools around here, some are more expensive than others, right? and some difficult to enter than others, right? Aha. But then the truth of the matter is that, do you know that the web has made the entire world a small village in which information is available to everyone that is looking for it? Huh? One of the best universities in the world in terms of technology is which university? Who knows? Who knows? You know, when you talk about technology, one of the best universities in the world for a long time. Who knows? Huh? Thank you very much. You knew it. MIT. Massachusetts Institute of what? Technology. Do you know that courses are available online from MIT? How many of you know about MIT OpenCourseware? You know about MIT OpenCourseware? That's a good brother there. You know about it also? Great. But have you been using it very well? You just know about it. Oh no. Now you see, it's there. And you have up-to-date information, video clips. You watch lectures. You sit in a class as if you are sitting in the best university in the world, right in your room. Are you getting me? And you have access to information that people are having out there in the States. So why not if not? Why not if not? Why can't you know as much as somebody out there knows? It's there, available. Let's go ahead. Daniel 1:17-20. As for these 4 young men, God gave them knowledge and skill in all literature and wisdom. And Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Now at the end of the days, when the king had said that they should be brought in, the chief of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. Then the king interviewed them. And among them all, none was found Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore they served before the king. Therefore they did what? They served before the king. And in all matters of wisdom and understanding, about which the king examined them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers who were in all Israel. Now these were believers. Were they not believers? These were believers. But these ones decided to be where they ought to be. Are you following me? Now you see where they are. What was it that the king was examining them? What was it? The same knowledge of the things in Babylon that all supposed to be aware of. They were not the only ones in the university. There were many of them. But these 4 students in the University of Babylon were outstanding. And because they were outstanding, they served before the king. Are you outstanding? Question. Are you outstanding? And do you strive to be outstanding? You have access to all you need to have. It's available there. And there's no reason why you should be less than you ought to be. You have no excuse. Are you with me? And please, stop thinking that, oh, those fellows are in a better school than ours. That's why we just have to. No. If there's anything I know that you guys, at least down here in South Africa, are lucky to have, is that most of your universities have good equipment. True or false? It's true. You have good equipment, but many times the problem is the zeal to learn. Many times the problem is the motivation to excel. Now please listen. The Christ we carry is not a failure. Are you with me? The Christ we carry has an excellent what? Spirit. Are you getting me? And you will not be representing him well if you are not doing well. We need people like Daniel that will stand up there in the days to come. If you are not excellent academically, you can't get the key to get there. There was something that led to their serving before the king. What was it? They proved themselves. Yes or no? They proved themselves. They excelled beyond the others. And the king had no choice. He served in a higher position, listen, than the city of Babylon. You are not getting the point. These were slaves, right? In a strange land, right? They had every reason to be marginalized, right? But listen, there was something they had that could not be gainsaid. They stood out and everybody had to respect that. And so you only limit yourself. Don't tell me your environment is what's limiting you. You are not getting me? Huh? Who is limiting you? Who? You are the only limitation in your pathway. You can only go as far as you want to go. Are you following me? Huh? It's all available there. The information is there. The access is there. And I'm told that, let me give you some examples. I have students that are trying to do programming. How many of us know about programming? Programming. Oh, quite a few. That's serious. So I shouldn't even be asking which type of programming you know. How many of us do know about Android programming? Android. Just a few. You do Android programming? No, you just know about it. Wow. And that is now can you, do you know that we spent days downloading Android tutorials, Android packages for my high school students. They are doing Android programming now. They are writing software for Android phones. And we had to spend days to get the materials online because our internet is not fast. When you can't watch YouTube directly with us, it's always breaking and buffering, you won't know that kind of thing again. Like you play the video, you stay still for like 5 minutes and then move for some 2 seconds and then stay still. It's buffering. I'm told that here you just click and you're just watching. Is that not so? That means that all the software that we spend days and weeks, at times I spend like 2 weeks because I'm checking the lights. Thank God I have a download manager. It stops at a point. I continue later. That means that with just one click, about 5 minutes, you download what takes me 5 weeks to download. That's the truth. So why are you wasting it? Why are you wasting it? You can watch videos on YouTube without breaking hours, and it's there. So why are you wasting it? Why are you wasting an opportunity to make yourself as good as you could be? Why are you wasting an opportunity to lay a solid foundation for yourself in your academics? Why? Why do you want, do you just want to go through school, just get out, and just get a job and exist without living? Huh? This Daniel, did Daniel just exist? It wasn't just a number. He made an impact, even in a strange land. He made all the good use of the access to information he had. Let's move ahead. The first item there is spiritual growth. We'll read together. Gone are the days when spiritual resources and great books were difficult to come by. Today, sound resources abound online that will bring a lot of help to many. What can be achieved with eSword now is far more than any study Bible can offer. Now, one of the things that helped some of us is access to some good materials, which are very scarce these days. They don't print them again because the world system is not interested in propagating the truth. Understand? But luckily, people that are interested in giving this out have found a cheaper means of putting it there. It's on the net. How many of us know about eSword? eSword. Oh, thank God, quite a number, but many people don't. eSword. How many versions do you have in eSword? About 60-something versions of the Bible. And devotionals, unlimited. And sound books. Books that will affect you positively. Books that are not available in the stores again. They are there. And many of you have systems today. You just sit down on your system, laptop, and you're just reading through them. It's there. Now listen, part of what you need to do to lay a solid foundation for your entire life is building yourself up spiritually. Is studying to show yourself what? Approved. That's 2 Timothy that we put there, chapter verse 15. Is studying to show yourself what? Approved. Is seeking out the truth. Many people are confused in life because they are what? Ignorant. That's the problem. You tell some people some spiritual principles, they say, you mean it's like that? I never knew. But please listen. We won't have any excuse in heaven. Do you know why? The resources are there. So, if you don't seek, you will not what? Find. That's the truth. And there are websites that are dedicated to giving out Christian materials. Okay, like we have a website now. www.org. www.living.org. Living, you can just Google it, you see it there. Material bound. And so the internet has made it possible. You have books there that you can download that might be difficult to get. All the way from Nigeria. You understand what I'm talking about? We have problem. We have been looking for a way to get books down here. It's been difficult. But wow, you can download from the net without barriers. Yes or no? Huh? Uh-huh. Times we have messages there to send down here. For many people, it's difficult. But how many people can access a single web page? How many people? Do you have the upper limit? Huh? There's no upper limit. So what will be difficult for us to bring, even bringing 1,000 books down here is difficult. But 1 million, 2 million, 3 million can have access to the same books once you can go online. And it's there. People like Daniel. Huh? People like Daniel. How did they get to where they are? Where? That they were able to propose and stand for Christ and be outstanding. And you know, it's like Daniel discovered some secret things about God. Are you following me? It's like he knew that if I do it like this, it will happen like that. But how did he know? Where did he get such information? He studied. Let's move ahead. enlightenment. Knowledge is power. What you know is what defines you. Yes or no? Daniel was defined in that day not by how he looked. Was it by how he looked? Not by his race or color? Right? He was a slave in a foreign land. But the information he had was too valuable. Even kings, what did they do? They bowed to him. What you know is what defines you. You can be aware of current developments in different parts of the world and be up to date. You can be. Even if where you are is in what looks like a village. I'm sure there's network in many parts, and many of us have phones that can browse. Yes or no? So it's not far away from you. It's right there where? In your pockets. Gone are the days where you have to go and look for internet connection, look for a system somewhere and all that. Pull out your phone now, just Google, and you get the answers. It's there. Right there. And so we have no excuse. Enlightenment. That's what we just talked about. Education. Resources for coursework and project abound on the net and satellite TV. There was one very good station that we saw here in South Africa. It's from here they broadcast it. It teaches educational things. How many of us watch it? How many of us watch it? Wow. You watch any of your educational TV programs here? You watch it? Okay, good. All right. Now there are many of them. Now you will only be disadvantaged if you do not know how to harness the available resources. We may complain about decadence of educational system, but the net has made it possible for a willing and diligent student to find all the help he needs. Did we get that? Personal development. There is much you can get to learn to do on your own, and this you can achieve and be at par with anyone anywhere in the world. I'll take the two together. You can be at par with anybody anywhere in the world. Once you know how to make use of the available tools that ICT has made available for us, there's nothing anybody knows anywhere else that you can't know. And God could gift you so much that you will think about it and bring out things that people far away have not even been able to do. I hope you're getting me. So it depends on you to go and search for the what? Information. It depends on you to make use of it. It depends on you to sit down. Of course, it takes what? Time. Are you following me? It takes what? Time. You know, the other time, by the time we downloaded some of the materials, the first challenge is, okay, so how do you start? You go from one to another. Some of the students had to give up their holiday break. You understand what I'm talking about? They gave up their holiday break, some part of it, to come and sit down and go through the videos that we had. Now, they could have been back at home. Are you following me? You understand what I'm talking about now? Playing, enjoying their break. Now, these are high school kids. These are just kids in their teens. But you know, they came up and saw that, oh, we need to do this. And they came back to school, they sat and spent days, morning till night. They are sitting down, watching the videos, practicing, watching the videos, practicing. At the end, they got it. I gave them a project work to do. You do this, do that. And they were able to get it run. They were able to develop apps that can run on and of mathematical problems and that. And they are moving ahead. The issue about discovering information on time is that it's a build-up. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. If you are too late in discovering an information, it's like, today is Monday, I discovered something on Monday. Do you know what will happen? By Tuesday, I will discover what? More. By Wednesday, I will discover what? More. But then if you allow time to pass you, and then you are almost leaving university, or you are now out there and all that, and you are trying to discover that time, usually, you understand what I'm talking about? Years have what? Passed. If you have started earlier, where you are today is not where you will what? You will be. I don't know if you are getting what I'm talking about. It's important to start right what? Early. And to devote time to it. Opportunities, scholarships, jobs, found on the net. You can get to be able to know about such opportunities through many of the available information media. I think that's clear. There are many things that you get to be aware as you are on the net. You get to be aware of. Now, ICT as a profession or sub-profession. The knowledge of ICT to the 21st century learner and worker opens a world of opportunities not only in the sciences and social sciences, but also in the arts. It gives you an edge over your fellows. Fortunately, advances in technology have brought these tools not just to our doorstep, but into our very pockets. Please listen fully to me. You need to arise. Now, first, sincerely, I'm surprised that many of us don't even know. Let me first find out, how many of us are science students? Science and the sciences. Let me just see your hands. Wave it very well. Good. How many, if you are in, just still lift those hands up. Sciences, up. Okay, good. If you are in the sciences and you know about programming, keep your hands up. If you don't, drop your hands. You do programming, at least a bit. You write some codes and all that. Very, very few. Very few. Now, I hope you know that for those of you in the sciences, listen carefully to me. The next generation of things, if you will be relevant in the next phase of things, if you will not just be an ordinary consumer. Many engineers are actually electricians and not engineers. You know, electricians, technicians, they don't engineer anything. They just replace and repair. You understand what I mean? Now, you are not supposed to build yourself up with that kind of a focus. Are you following me? You are supposed to be focused on the fact that this is what I want to become. And what are the necessary tools? Now, I hope you also know, for anybody doing mechanical engineering, you are doing mechanical engineering and you don't know about programming, you are backwards, because are there any systems today? Do you see any systems around today that is not digitalized? Are there systems like that again? Are there cars that are not digitalized? And please listen, everything is programming. From the robots on your streets to all your cars, there's a brain box. Programming. It's codes. And you can't create them except you know how to do it. And it's simple. And the tools are available there. It was from here that we were trying to order for some kits. Yeah, some, they call them microprocessors. How many of us know about microprocessors? Not the ones inside the main system, but the ones you can use to develop something on your own. Do you know about them? Wow. Okay, you know. We are very few. Now, listen, you need to. I'm just surprised that we have so much information around us and we know nothing about it. I was sending down here for them to get, because I saw that there were about 3 companies here in South Africa that have all those, and we don't have any in Nigeria that have it. We have to send to the US to get the little key for what you call computer numerical control. You write a program on your pad, connect it to a hardware, you press some buttons here, and something happens. That's sort of what the students are trying to learn back there in my high school. But I'm surprised that we are here. Or does it mean that there is a segment of the people that are just getting to know and enjoy those things, and there are many of us that are just in the dark? Huh? We need to arise. We need to do what? Arise. And we will go now to some of the things that make it difficult. Huh? The pitfalls and what? Aspects of what? The ICT. Judges 7, 4-7. But the Lord said to Gideon, the people are too many, bring them down to the water, and I will test them there. Then it will be that of whom I say to you, this one shall go with you, the same shall go with you. And of whomever I say to you, this one shall not go with you, the same shall not go with you. So he brought the people down to the water, and the Lord said to Gideon, everyone who laps from the water with his tongue as a dog laps, you shall set apart by himself. Likewise, everyone who gets down on his knees to drink. And the number of those that lapped, putting their hands to their mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the people got down on their knees to drink water. Men who lapped, I will save. Okay, drink water. Men who lapped. Oh, there's a mistake there, I think. Okay, it says, and deliver the Midianites into your hands. It said, I will save you and deliver the Midianites into your hands. Let all the other people go, every man to his place. Then the Lord said to Gideon, by the 300. Oh, when they were typing for me, they must have shifted it. All right. If you open your Bibles, we'll look at it there directly. That's Judges, chapter what? 7, verse 4-7. Now the story there, like we all know, was that Gideon was going to war. God had told him, go to war, and he had gathered the people that he wanted to go to war with. But unfortunately, God said they were too what? Many. And God had to prune them down. Now verse 7 says, and the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thy hands, and let all the other people go, every man to his house. Now, it's not that we have not been interacting with the ICT. Is it that we have not been interacting with the ICT? Actually, we have been interacting a lot with the ICT. Yes or no? We have been interacting with our DSTV. Yes or no? Our mobile phones, the web pages, websites, and all that. And how many of us watch some films every now and then on YouTube? YouTube, you know YouTube, use YouTube a lot. Let me see your hands up. Come on. Raise it up now. You use YouTube. Okay, good. Watch videos on YouTube. Good. There are more people that watch videos on YouTube than those that know about software programming and all that. Why? Now, the truth of the matter is that some of us will start YouTube, watch this one, finish. Then what do? Pick the next one, right? Finish. Right? And then pick the next one. Now, for those of us that don't watch YouTube, oh, season 1, season 2, season 3, season, and in one night, you just sit down and be watching season after season. Yes or no? That's the truth. Season after season after season. You go to bed tired, wake up late and rush out. So where is the time to sit down to learn? Time waits for no one. And the time you've wasted, you can't get back. Time is meant to be invested, not spent. Are you with me? Look, you don't have more than 24 hours in what? In a day. And you don't have more than one young life to live. Do you have more than one young life to live? You don't have any other time to lay a foundation for your future. I hope you know that. And when you lay the foundation with season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5, what happens? You reap the caution of what? Poor grades, ignorance, and you're just there. You need to make up your mind and choose rightly. The choice is yours. And I'm talking to college students, not just high school kids. And so by now you need to know what you want to. You need to know what you want to use your life to do. Are you with me? And you need to know what you want to use your time for. There will be ample time to relax and enjoy later. But right now, it's time to do what? To work. And work what? Hard. Please listen. Last time your intelligence determined your performance was in grade 6. Hello? The last time your what? Intelligence determined your performance was in grade what? Grade 6. The higher you go, the less of intelligence you need, the more of what? Hard work. I have a student that finished from our high school last year. Went for a competition, maths competition. He came position 17 in the competition. Because the competition is about IQ. You understand? They give you tough questions, solve it fast, and all that. I had 2 other students in the state. One came first, the other came second. Now this other student came what? 17. But back in school, when it's about the work they are given to do, the person that came 17 always comes first. Always. He came out with the best results. Are you following me? Came out with the best results, both the high school results, and then there's another exam we do. It's a university matriculation examination. He came out with the best result there, and he was able to get, thanks. He was able to get a scholarship. Are you following me? He got a scholarship because of his results to study abroad. Now, the rest that were better than him, there were about 7 other students that were better than him, did not perform as well as he did. Do you know why? When the others are playing, this guy is what? Reading. When they are playing, he's what? Reading. Are you following me? Studying his books, sitting hard at it, getting everything. Is this what you ask me in the exam? He knows this is what is expected of him. He studies it hard, knows it well. And so he does better than them. And so he was able to get a scholarship. Meanwhile, others could not. And so it's simply about what? Hard work. And so don't tell me that better than me, the other guy is better than me, she's better. You understand what I'm talking about? Please listen. Nobody is better than you. Are you following me? Huh? Nobody. Your performance is only a function of the time you put in. The only difference between us is what you call attention span and assimilation rate. But if you know your rate, you start early. Are you following me? You know your rate, you start early. Everybody has the same tank. Research has shown that you cannot use up to 10% of your mental capacity. The problem is that even though it's a big drum, you have small holes and bigger holes into the drum. So if I want to put all the water in this, inside a bigger drum, if the hole is small, I have to do it how? Slowly, right? Slowly. And at times, if I pour everything within a short space of time, what happens? Some enter and some get what? Wasted. That's what happens when you get to exam hall. Oh, but I read that stuff. Oh, yeah, I read it. But I can't bring it back. Oh, you actually touched it, but it spilled out rather than what? Enter, because you were trying to cram it in a short space of what? Time. You get me? Nobody is better than you. You have the capacity. There's no limit to what you can achieve. But the problem is you must learn to work what? Hard. And start early. Part of our greatest distraction at times is many things we do on the net. Spend hours pinging, WhatsApp, right? Huh? Facebook, right? They take a lot of our time. Now, why I'm not saying you shouldn't use Facebook, huh? But the problem is you must know how to be disciplined. Now, let me read through. Now, of course, the Gideon's army that we read, those guys that were disqualified, what happened? They saw the water, huh? And what did they do? They went on their what? On their knees. And what did they do? They put their head inside. And they were what? Drinking. But the others were just what? Lapping. All right. Let's go ahead. Distractions. ICT tools are a major source of distractions to many people, especially the youths. It leads to a loss of both spiritual and academic concentration. Yes or no? The reason why at times you find difficult to go to fellowship Bible study at times is because most of your time has been eaten into by hours spent on the net on different kinds of sites. Why you should have spent it effectively somewhere else. And those that mattered in God's calendar had time for God. Do you understand me? They spent time with God. It leads to a loss of both spiritual and academic concentration at critical moments in these two aspects. How many of you put off your phones in church? You put off your phone in church. Let me see your hands up. You put it off, not vibration, off. Okay, now we are being sincere. Please, let's be sincere. How many of you, at times, not always, I'm not saying always, at times you get a ping while you're in service? Come on, put up your hands and shame the devil. And at times, you just quickly, let me just reply, I'm still focused on the message, and then you quickly reply, and then you put it back in your pocket. Right? In that short space of time, you've lost focus on what God is saying. You've lost concentration. The devil has stolen your attention. And then you are struggling and say, that service was boring. I didn't get what the preacher was saying. It wasn't that it was boring or you couldn't get it distracted. Same thing goes with your academics. Many of us, we spend time chatting while the lecture is going on. True or false? True or false? So while you are chatting when your lecture is going on, how would you understand what the lecturer is saying? All right, let me move on. We must read this last page and round up. Pollution. What you see, okay, at critical moments in these two aspects. These tools lead to a truncation and ultimate loss of flow. Many students end up saying they do not understand what was taught in class, not because they couldn't have, but because their attention was divided. Pollution. What you see becomes you. Those that see strange things become strange children. Dulling of values, changing of values, inputting of wrong ideas about life are all some negative impacts of ICT. The more you are acquainted with the wrong, the more your relative sense of judgment diminishes. If you see the wrong long enough, it will fail to be repulsive to you. Did we get that? And that's what happens on many other sites that you go to. It's your choice today to decide not to go to those sites again. Many of the values that you struggle with. And listen, somebody out there deliberately puts those values there because he wants to bring you down. And you think that's how it happens, that's how it's supposed to be, and you imbibe that culture and that attitude without knowing that it was specially put there to distract you. And you think it's right, they do it like that, then we could do it like that here also. Everything you see on the net is not the correct thing. And it's better you don't see it too often. All right, time wastage. Men that made a difference I've spoken about that. And social behaviors, I'll leave you to read that. Now, the way forward, we'll round up on that. The way forward. What's the way forward? We've said ICT is good, and we have shown you the negative effect. So what's the way forward? First, discipline and what? Deliberateness. You must be disciplined, you must be what? Deliberate. Are you getting me? You have the power to say what? No. And that's one of the things that is coming to you in this meeting. You have the power now to make a right choice. Christ, the solid rock, has given you the ability to say no. The sites are there, but you can choose either to go there or not to, and go to the right sites. The choice is. Okay? Surf with a sieve. I mentioned that a bit before. When you go to the net, don't take everything on some book charts, hook, line, and what? Sinker. It's not all the time that it is right. Hesitate to click. I think I've talked about that. You don't need to click. At times, some things pop up. Many things you already know where they are leading to, but you still get tempted to. Already you know. You say, but it just popped up. It didn't just pop up. You said yes by clicking. That's the truth. You can decide not to click. And now you know you have to decide not to click. For every wrong click, you are putting a wrong piece of brick foundation. Did you get that? For every wrong click, you are putting a wrong piece of brick in your what? Foundation. Many of us that struggle, we love the Lord, but we struggle with wrong thoughts. It's because of what you see. I once asked my students, if a guy was born in a remote village and never saw a gun and doesn't know what a gun looks like, and then they came and threw a gun beside him, and he doesn't know what it is, will he use it to shoot? Because he doesn't know about it. You get tempted with what you know. You get that? May God help us in Jesus' name. Conclusion. John 17, 11 to 18, I'll leave us to read that. We are in the world, but we are not of the world, right? But some live here as though this is all and get drowned in it. You must purpose, like who? Daniel. Make covenants with your eyes, like who? Like Job. Long after God, like who? Like David. If you will also soar like this man and dominate your generation, laying a solid foundation that ensures you're becoming an instrument of positive change. God bless you.